everybody, Randy Kertz here for Bass Musicians. So this month, I'd like to talk to you about the importance of a good strap and how it can affect one's playing technique. But first, I would like to, shameless plug number one, tell you about my new book, which is the Bassist Guide to Injury Management, Prevention, and Better Health, Volume 2. This book is available in physical form from Baseline Publishing. It's all new material. None of this is in Volume 1, and it has interviews with Ariane Capps, Stuart Ham, John Patitucci, Chichi Nwanaku, Chris Jeezy, Dino Monoxalis, and many of your and mine favorites. All new stuff, all new conditions. Again, if you like the first one, you'll like this one just as much, I'm quite sure. It's at baselinepublishing.com. Also, my first book, The Bassist Guide to Injury Management, Prevention, and Better Health, Volume 1, is also available in physical form for the first time in quite some time by Baseline Publishing, again, who has picked up the gauntlet here and is bringing these to the world, and I appreciate it and them, and I appreciate you. So again, check them out, and this is just in case you were thinking about maybe not listening to the end of my pitch where I say, Randy Kertz, always a pleasure, blah, blah, blah. Now you've seen it, so if you want them, go get them, baselinepublishing.com. Thank you. Now, without further ado, when you have an instrument strap, it's very important to think about material and about how high and how low you're wearing it, etc., etc. Of course, a lot of that is going to be one's individual taste and playing style, but we're trying to have it at a height where we're not going to have those bad wrist angles like we've talked about. Meaning, if you put your wrist like that, you're going to set yourself up for repetitive stress type injury, perhaps carpal tunnel tendonitis, something of that nature. Same thing here. If your wrist is bent like so when you're playing, you're going to have problems with, again, pain on either side of the hand and wrist, or a carpal tunnel or a repetitive stress type of situation. So it's important to set it up to your comfort level, but also I'm taller than most, so I want to wear my bass in a certain way where it's comfortable for me. That may not work for you. My hands are fairly large, yours may not be, they may be bigger. Whatever it happens to be, you want to set up your strap and your instrument in such a way that you're going to be able to play to maximum advantage. Now, part of that is going to be the width of the strap and the material. Shameless plug number 2. This is the John Patitucci signature strap, which I developed with John and with Groove Gear, and is available from Groove Gear, groovegear.com. Why did I do this? Well, John and I have been talking for years about designing a strap that is ergonomically correct, that's going to feel comfortable, but yet still going to be stylish. And so we went ahead and did it, and Groove Gear put it into production and also helped out a lot with the design. So it's a three-way collaboration. Anyway, what's important here is the width. This happens to be 3 inches wide, which I find to be between 3 and 3¼ inches to be the best way. Simply because if it's too wide, and Groove Gear has some fine straps that are very wide that some players really like, it can, depending on how close to your neck you wear it, push into the side of your neck. That can be uncomfortable. Again, it depends on where you're going to wear the instrument at. But if it's too narrow, it has the potential to push down on a collection of nerves in the shoulder called the brachial plexus. That can cause nerve issues with them going and radiating down your arm, especially with a heavier instrument pressing down. That's likely to cause problems coming from the shoulder, and these can be easily confused with neck problems, so sometimes it's hard to get help with these. So I find that the 3.25 really seems to work for me. This is the height that I prefer it at. But I'm going to make sure that I'm not bending my wrist very much, because I'm moving my wrist in a circular fashion and I'm not resting the right on the instrument itself, like so. I'm having it come at more of an angle when I pluck, so that's going to help me out there too. This strap will go up here or as long as you want it. There's also a longer strap available from Groove Gear that if you wear your your instrument really low and that's where you want it, this strap will accommodate that, the extra long one. The material is important too. A lot of straps utilizing neoprene may be a little, no, there we go. The way that Groove Gear makes the neoprene makes it very secure. I like neoprene because while it has integrity, so it's not going to move around too much while you're playing or while you're putting pressure on it, it will have just a little bit of give, which again is going to be kind of hard to see. But it's got just enough give where it's not going to be rigid, not going to be super uncomfortable, yet still maintains its integrity. So I really like that about it. Put the leather top over it because it looks good and it also helps to kind of cover up some of the design elements here. And we feel, again, that it's not only stylish, but very effective, keeping you comfortable and injury-free. The last part we really like here that we did is this adjusts so that, and it's hard to kind of see these knobs here, but the posts here have little, I think what they call Chicago screws on the end of them, where it will keep this from coming off, from the strap from coming off. It'll keep it on secure, but it's not hard to get it off and adjust it. Again, the tail, instead of a buckle, has these little screws, so it's easier to adjust it in that way. Okay? Again, the lesson here is essentially wear the bass at the height that's comfortable for you, and so that you don't have to make really exaggerated wrist angles on either the right or the left side when playing, because that's going to cause the repetitive type of problems we want to avoid, carpal tunnel, etc., etc. Also, the fact that you want to have a strap that's made out of good material, this one with the neoprene underneath, the leather on top, and also the width that is going to accommodate you best, depending on how you're built. For me, the 3 to 3 1/4 really is the sweet spot. This one happens to be 3 inches, and it really works well. It's really comfortable, keeps it from biting into my neck. And again, we thought about this quite a bit, John, myself, and Groove Gear, and wanted to put out something that was going to be useful to the player rather than just put something out just for the heck of it. I've tried and used most, if not all, of the straps out there. I'm very proud of this, and I think it fits the bill, and I think you'll like it too. Anyway, that's shameless plug number 2. The lesson is wear your instrument and your strap at a good height for yourself so you're not going to bend your wrist too much, etc. Randy Kertz, I'm all out of shameless plugs. That's 2. Hope the lesson was of some help to you today. We'll see you next month. Always available, drkertz.com, where you can find out about my projects and reach me and maybe make suggestions for future columns as necessary. Thanks a lot. Bass musician, thank you. Peace.